Hello dear learners, I welcome you all to the today's video lecture on analeptics or CNS stimulants. As you can see here, analeptics or CNS stimulant, it is being used as OR. It means what? The analeptics can also be called as CNS stimulants or CNS stimulants can also be called as analeptics, that is vice versa. Means if in exam the question is being asked on analeptic, then you are supposed to know that it is nothing but CNS stimulant or CNS stimulant, then you are supposed to know that it is analeptic. So we will start with analeptic drugs today, but before going to the analeptic drugs or CNS stimulant drugs, we will actually see how the nervous system is being divided. Actually, in your earlier classes like 11th, 12th, when you studied anatomy, you have studied all these things, but just to brushen up, because till now whatever the topics we covered earlier to CNS stimulants, we have covered it with respect to a particular disease, say for anti-malarial, anti-tubercular, anti-leprotic, etc. So we are going to start with this brain part. So as all of you know, the brain, that means the nervous system, is having its own divisions and that are interlinked or interconnected, you can call. So what it is, how they work, we will see first. Why? To understand actually the classification of drug. That means what do you mean by CNS stimulant, what do you mean by CNS depressant, where they work on CNS. So what about ANS? So all these things we will discuss now, and then we will start with the CNS stimulants. So coming towards the classification, as you can see here, this nervous system is basically classified into two, CNS and PNS. So PNS is, that is peripheral nervous system, is having two parts, that is motor and sensory. So this motor neurons, actually this is having a further subdivision such as somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Now the system of focus is autonomic nervous system from PC2 syllabus, and system of focus from PC2 syllabus is central nervous system. So in central nervous system, which is the area of focus for CNS stimulants today, so the central nervous system is divided into two parts, brain and spinal cord, and autonomic nervous system is divided into two parts, that is sympathetic division and parasympathetic division. So sympathetic division is also called as the fight or flight response type of system, and parasympathetic division is also called as rest or digest pattern of system. So what all these things, ANS and sympathetic division, parasympathetic division, we are going to see all these in our second sessional. Since today we are dealing with only CNS, so we will talk about the central nervous system today. Okay. Then coming towards, again see the classification, see focus on the central nervous system, the two subdivisions, brain and spinal cord. As you all know these parts, brain, cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, and brainstem is again further midbrain, pons and medulla oblongata. Okay, so this is the brain, what you can call it as brain parts, and spinal cord. So this CNS deals with brain and spinal cord. And how it is interlinked with the PNS. PNS is like peripheral nerves and ganglia, it is to be dealt with. So when we are going to study, actually PNS we are not supposed to deal with much in your syllabus, but ANS, parasympathetic and sympathetic division, we will further see in our upcoming chapters. Next, see how CNS and PNS both are interlinked. So here, as you all know, CNS involves brain and spinal cord, and as you have seen in this image, peripheral nervous system involves peripheral nerves, that is cranial nerves, spinal nerves. So here cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So as you all have studied about the different types of cranial nerves such as vagus and all. So which you have already studied in your 12th standard. So I will not go into the depth of that. Only you are supposed to understand here is what the interrelation between the CNS and PNS. So how they are interrelated. Since the CNS deals with the brain and spinal cord, what it will do? First, whatever the sensory organs we have, that sensory organs will send the information sensed by the sensory organs from the receptors to the CNS. Then it is sent to the CNS from the PNS for the interpretation. Then CNS will interpret the information sent by peripheral nervous system and it will decide what to do. And this, whatever the decision is being done here in the brain, that decision will again get conveyed through the PNS itself, through the spinal cord. That means this message from the brain, it will get conveyed to the peripheral nervous system, to the nerves, and this message will be passed. So this sensory organs or sense organs, whatever the message is sensed, that is passed to central nervous system, and from the central nervous system interpreted decision will come to the again peripheral nervous system, and through spinal cord it is passed. How? It will be passed to somatic, that means voluntary system, and autonomic, that is involuntary system. So it will be passed to our muscles. So our muscles will move according to the response, that means in response to the brain's decision. जो यहाँ पे डिसीजन हुआ था ब्रेन में, ये डिसीजन पे पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम के जो फर्दर डिविजन्स है, जो मसल्स आते हैं, स्केलेटल मसल्स एंड ऑल विच आर वॉलेंट्री, दे विल मूव इन रिस्पॉन्स टू द information which is being interpreted by the brain. So CNS will receive the information from the sense organs, and this is sensory information, and when this CNS will send back the information to the PNS through spinal cord, then it is motor information. So to the action it will show the reaction. That means sense organ will sense, they will send the impulse, this will get interpreted in the CNS, and our organs or our body parts will show the action. Okay, so this way they are interrelated. So now we will see through diagram. This is central nervous system. We are going to later on discuss this peripheral nervous system in detail when we will study the cholinergic and adrenergic drugs. So with respect to CNS, if we will see brain and spinal cord. Okay, so you can see the different parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, okay, brainstem, this spinal cord. Okay, so all these parts are involved whereas the CNS is concerned. So the major control of the body is with what? CNS, that is central nervous system, from where all the activities get controlled. So coming towards our topic of interest of today, that is analeptics, we are going to start with the introduction, that is definition. So analeptics are, these are the drugs which are also known as CNS stimulant drugs. So these CNS stimulant drugs which are used in treatment or to reduce the narcosis or drowsiness which is caused due to excessive use of CNS depressant drug. That means what? Narcosis is what? It is just means drowsiness is as you can call it in layman's term, that is unconsciousness. But what type of unconsciousness it is? It is produced due to the excessive use of CNS drug. Narcosis also, it is nothing but a habit forming due to which unconsciousness is produced, and drowsiness is also a type of unconsciousness which is produced due to excessive use of CNS depressant drug. So see, CNS depressant drugs is the word. So this CNS depressant means they will depress the CNS. So this depression we are supposed to overcome. This drowsiness we are supposed to overcome. So we are using the CNS stimulant drug. So they include wide variety of medications used to treat. These are the conditions which CNS stimulants will treat. So first is as of course as we have seen in the definition, that CNS depressant drug के वजह से जो drowsiness है उनको ट्रीट करने में या फिर उनको डिक्रीज करने में, रिड्यूस करने में these drugs will help. So depressions of what type? First it is depression, then attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That means this is generally seen in the children's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In children there is a decreased learning ability, decreased concentration. Due to this, these are the common symptoms of this attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So to treat this, analeptics are also used. Then in case of respiratory depression also, certain analeptics such as nicotinamide are of that means kind concern, and it helps patient to recover from anesthesia more efficiently. That means again see anesthetics. Now anesthetics causes what? Depression again. So this anesthesia, to overcome the anesthesia, that means to recover from the anesthesia efficiently, again analeptics are administered. Again they are used in the treatment of apnoea, that is a kind of respiratory depression you can call, or it's a difficulty in breathing and asthma. Okay, so all these conditions treatment the CNS stimulant drugs will work, and the examples you are supposed to mention when what are CNS stimulants the question is asked. So the examples are caffeine, theophylline, theobromine, nicotinamide. Okay, nicotinamide is also known as coramine. These are the examples of CNS stimulant drugs. So this answer comprise what are analeptics or what are CNS stimulants. In exam the question is asked about what are CNS stimulants or what are analeptics. So you are supposed to write down the definition along with the example, and then you are supposed to write down the conditions in which CNS stimulants are used. Now coming towards the classification of CNS stimulants. In classification, as you can see here in the image, CNS stimulants are basically classified into two subtypes, that is based on the sources and based on the mechanism of action. So based on the sources you can call it as origin also, and based on the mechanism of action you can call it as uses also. That means on which area the stimulants are working, according to that they are subclassified, and the sources, that means from where these substances are derived, from that source or the origin is getting counted over here. So based on sources there are two classes, natural and synthetic, and then mechanism of action or uses there are different, see, 5 classes. That means the CNS stimulants which work on cortex, that are cortical stimulants. Medulla, so these are medullary stimulants. Then respiratory system, so these are respiratory stimulants. Then central, so they are central stimulants. Then spinal, so they are called as spinal stimulants, this way. So we will now see the classification or based on the sources. So classification which is based on the sources, as we just discussed, that based on sources there are two classes, one is natural and another is synthetic. So in natural they are also called as methyl xanthines. Why? Because caffeine is derived from xanthine and xanthine is derived from purine. So since these are the methyl derivatives of xanthines, that means on xanthine when methyl group will be substituted, they will form the different structures called as caffeine, theophylline, theobromine. So we have seen all these structures in detail in the caffeine structure video. Okay. Then coming towards the synthetic sources. Synthetic sources, first drug includes nicotinamide. Nicotinamide is also known as coramine. Nicotinamide is also known as coramine. So if in the exam the question is asked, write about the coramine या फिर draw the structure of coramine, so at that point you are supposed to know that coramine is nothing but nicotinamide only and nicotinamide is nothing but coramine only. Because many a time it has been observed in the exam, students know what nicotinamide is, but students don't know that it is also known by the name coramine. Students know by the name CNS stimulants, but students, they don't focus on the synonyms, and sometimes they could not recollect that analeptics are only known as CNS stimulant. So that's the reason it becomes difficult. That means in spite of knowing the answer, you leave that space blank. So it should not happen. So you are supposed to properly remember that nicotinamide is also known as coramine. So how you will remember? You are supposed to remember the initials. This nic is mine. मतलब nicotinamide का nic and mine. Nic is mine. So nic for nicotinamide, mine is coramine. Okay. So next drug is dextroamphetamine. Dextroamphetamine. So the uses of dextroamphetamine are asked in the exam, and complete caffeine and complete nicotinamide drug is really very important from the exam point of view. Now we will go to the second subclass, which is further subdivided into 5 types, as we discussed earlier, based on the uses, means where they are working. Like if they are working on the cortex, they are working on the medulla, they are working on the respiratory system. Okay, so accordingly they are classified. So first see, based on the mechanism of action, these are cortical stimulant. So cortical stimulants are nothing but caffeine, theophylline and dextroamphetamine. Medullary stimulants are it is nicotinamide or coramine. Then respiratory stimulant is again nicotinamide or coramine, and the second drug is what? Picrotoxin. Now central stimulants, in central stimulants, example is nicotine, and spinal stimulants, example is strychnine. So this way we finish with the classification of CNS stimulants. With this, I thank you all and stay connected for the further videos of CNS stimulants. Till that, have a coffee, because we are going to deal with the coffee ahead. Thank you.